hammer of the Kane and solo queue as well, so there's a chance we go creative from the jungle pool, because usually you just lock in the Sejuani in a spot like this and you're all right. Elise was available and looked over for the majority of 2 days ago. They find it in the second round here, and it's the famous ganking duo. Something that's going to be a heap of pressure on Cuvée early to avoid the ganks from Elise and Renekton.
Yeah, now CoreJJ, what does he pick for Haru? Looking at a tanky one, and the Sejuani just going to be picked up. So, of course, adapting to the fact that that Lulu not going to be in the jungle, we probably would have expected something a little more aggressive, but instead it's going to be the Elise who can stand her ground, especially if you face check the Spider Lady. That's a heck of a lot of damage.
Bit of a peculiar draft, really, if you think about it. Freaka have shown no success on the Gnar. They took it as a denial pick, and it is a good laning matchup against the Renekton. Asterisk, of course, being that the Elise Renekton have so much synergy. It's going to have to be really have his wits around him in the early game. It just does end up being the Sejuani I was mentioning as potentially an earlier round draft. So they don't necessarily go super creative with their last pick jungle. Very standard engage here, but strong laning with Cassio and Gnar particularly. To me, you have to look at Spirit. Spirit, the jungle Lulu, was the one that got them those leads in that 5th game that qualified them here. Elise can potentially turn around what are some difficult lane matchups if she gets going in the early game.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to be the aim of the game here for the Freaka Freaks. We know that they can start off extraordinarily strong, but it's the late game that Samsung's composition looks very, very powerful in. The likes of Tristana, Cassiopeia, massive DPS potential. On top of that, the Sejuani, when she gets going, able to create so much disruption. And looking at the Gnar on the top side of the map, it's not similar to how Marin plays it. Cuvée debuted it showing incredible ultimates, incredible transformation timings.
And he was the one who showed that you can beat Renekton in lane with it. That's the lane that he debuted it in, so he gets a good matchup. We got some interesting champions in the bot lane, specifically the Blitzcrank. It's going to be a fun one, Atlas. It might set the tone for the series.
Yep, the Gauntlet. Where did the money go?
So this is actually something I wouldn't have expected, but this on screen is definitely an expectation.
Yep, Dominus actually popped immediately as some cute moves come in, but it's all too easy to pick up that first blood. Spirit doesn't even have the turret aggro, so doesn't need to repel, as Marin has enough health to hold him off. Freaka Freaks understandably starting this series strongly, as it is game 1. You see Marin even taking that casual
they're thinking about
shot
more.
like he likes. Yeah, that flash actually comes in. Winter's Wrath doesn't do quite enough here, but it is going to be the follow-up kill as Haru grabs that one back. Teleport is going to be invested, and that's just a flat-out failed dive from the Freaka Freaks.
It was unnecessary too, Freaka Freaks. They do so.
Samsung Galaxy pretty unhindered as far as this bottom lane turret is concerned, and Tucson has to get the heck out of the way, but another dive comes in. No wallop to come down as there's the repel, gets out of the way of the Gnar. Now Spirit will have an extra auto attack, but not going to be able to follow far enough. Onto Cuvée, threaded volley. There's a creep wave, though. There it is, the last one. That's going to be the kill. The second one for the Freaka Freaks, but all the structures falling in favor of Samsung Galaxy as first turret blood. Gold's Crown holding one in the mid lane. Certainly good news for Samsung, but with a Rift Herald now bearing down on the Samsung squad, not quite there in time as Haru, CoreJJ can't quite figure out where they want to go. Spirit's going to be caught up, immediately destroyed, but no, the repel comes down. It is going to be enough with the poison, though, as Kramer has to flash. That is a huge flash to be down this early on. The tower not even going to fall as Samsung get one pick. Spirit just a bit out of position.
Yeah, Samsung came in late. It looked like they would go the long way, but do go for the engage. Haru registers the ultimate, and they burst down Spirit through the wild growth.
On both sides of the map, you can see Cassiopeia moving towards the top side more quickly.
She has to. She has to, because she doesn't have the global. Atlas is down bot lane.
Yeah, Ruler actually going for the dive, but the Weaver's Wall is going to come in. There's the flash. Ruler going to struggle, has to use the flash to get himself out, gets out of the way of that seismic shove, and now CoreJJ, he's in trouble. Might need to try and get that CC happening, but look at this. Kuro is going to be able to lock down the kill. Marin just playing catch-up, but look at this. Ruler in trouble. The double kill for Kuro, and this is behind the Kramer strat. That the Freaka Freaks, they're like, has it worked once? Yes, it has. Well, let's figure out how many ways we can do it, as there's the boot back onto Kuro. Couldn't get it across his own wall as Ruler now has to try and dodge these threaded volleys. They're going toe-to-toe, but that is not where you want to be as the little Tristana. Kuro just smashes him. The Freaka Freaks grab that pick all too easily. Does this mean Baron?
Might consider it, Atlas. They do have considerable damage on Baron, even without a Blade of the Ruin King. They won't call JJ, though.
Yep, has been warded out, but is able to boost himself, get out of there.
Beside him, just going for Knight's Vow. It's a great tweet coming through from Spirit after picking up the win
yes.
with the Lulu jungle, where he very clearly said, don't play Lulu jungle unless you have an AD carry as strong as Kramer, and it's another comp that's about Kramer.
Yep, Spirit now as well calling in Kramer, who's going to come down and get a lot of damage onto Core JJ. Not going to be sped up enough, doesn't have flash, and the living artillery is easily enough to get rid of the robot man. Beep boop, is it time to go to the Baron once again? I don't think so. It's not the jungler dead, it's just the support. Afrika
doesn't have flash, but does have the ability to go over the wall.
Yep. Arctic Assault certainly going to be there. Weaver's Wall is going to make sure that they know exactly his trajectory. As in he goes, looking for the steal, and he gets it! Haru, the hero for Samsung, is going to sacrifice himself, but that'll slow down the Afrika Freaks so much.
So considerable a pickup. It will buy extra time to get them closer and closer to 3 items. Haru has the young man mechanic buff. Going the way of Samsung is what has really allowed him to hit close to 4-item territory, despite the team having almost no control over the map. So getting most value out of the Trist is the one thing they have done this game. Everything else has gone the way of Afrika.
Well, Weaver's Wall is going to come in. This is the Afrika Freaks looking for a fight, and Spirit, he's actually pretty tanky right now as Kuro makes his way forward. Samsung, they want none of this, do not want this fight, but Crown turns it around immediately. They get rid of Kramer, and the fight is on. Samsung, are they going to head towards the Baron? Acathian Surprise does a bit of chunk work, but could be an opportunity now. Health bar's relatively low, and the star player of the Afrika Freaks has been taken out.
Yeah, first time we've seen a really severe positioning mistake from Kramer all series. In the 3 victories, he went unkilled for the Afrika Freaks in their 3 wins, but in the losses, of course, did fall. Samsung going to try and brute force down this Baron. People are going to have to start lining up, and Blitzcrank might get good target selection.
Yeah, Marin is at full health. Phenomenal flash from
Samsung scaling matters. Hulk City.
That's fantastic. Flashes into the ult. There's no way to use anything to get out of the way. The rocket grab is going to ring true. Kuro going to be taken out. That's another pick for Samsung.
But Afrika will wonder how this game went to ultimate, how this game got to the 35-minute phase. If the Baron had gone their way, it never would have gotten here. And now we're going to see 5v5 fights with almost gold parity.
Yep, but they don't have their mid laner. Marin's going to make his way forward. Scrying Orb still available right now.
Can Spirit do it?
Oh, well, Kramer's actually looking for it. Rocket Grab does go in as they do throw out the Petrifying Gaze once again, but Kramer is doing so much damage in the front line. Flashing after Haru, picks up the kill. That's a triple almost instantly. And he's got full health. They'll get a Baron as well, and this is why you have to kill the Kog'Maw.
Yes, Samsung were able to ground the enemy jungler, but they ignored the fact that Kramer would just get all over them and take them down. That's what happens when you get free time in a 4v5. It did not matter. Afrika get the Baron this time, and they will break the base.
Yep. Don't make him angry. You won't like him if he's angry. I know he looks adorable, but this Kramer wants to tear your base apart, and he's going to do exactly that with the help of these Baroned up minions. Ruler in trouble. Crown can't do anything with the range disadvantage. Turns onto Ruler for like an auto attack or 2 and shreds him in half. That's the inhibitor going down, and Afrika Freaks, this late game composition, it's all about Kramer, and that is all about what the Afrika Freaks want to be doing. They're so happy to put the eggs into his basket, and he's delivering, even though he got picked in the fight prior.
So we see the replay. Remember, this will always be a 5v4 for Samsung, so they will win a true 5v5, but they're still tanking the Baron because they get the Baron down to 2800, so they stay on it, and there's no threat on Kramer. He's confident enough to flash forward, triple kill with the on-hit Hurricane Bolts, proccing massive value. They can then turn onto the Baron that was thankfully still leashed by the side of Samsung. They get everything because it all lined up for Afrika.
Yep, and that was Kramer. Look at the circle being taken out by Samsung just based on where Kog'Maw is. Sliver of health on the last remaining turret, and that is going to be Kuro taken down, but most of me thinks that that is almost irrelevant versus this composition of the Afrika Freaks, because he's not going to be the one that they need. There's the cleanse or the QSS, one of the options here for Kramer on cooldown. He's still got a second. As Samsung putting up a valiant defense. Kramer gets himself out of the way, still has the flash, and Haru's going to go for the last minute engagement. Cube can't find any joy though as he flashes forward.
It's Kramer!
The repel's going to be enough as in goes Kramer. My god, the damage on the Crown. Is the damage going to be there as Ruler turns up? But look at this, they're getting shredded. That's the triple kill. Mon picked up for Spirit as well, and the Nexus destroyed as an afterthought. Afrika Freaks. Game 1 is definitely their territory.
And people were watching on, wondering why they're still there. It's 4v5. They don't have the Tilia Atlas. They didn't need the Tilia. They were just waiting for the true engage to come through. And the moment people were getting into Hurricane Bolt territory, The Kog'Maw turns on them, the Kog'Maw dispatches them, and Afrika Freaks winning Game 1 is no surprise, but it isn't just a rehash of what they did 2 days ago. They do have a singular focus. They are playing the postseason around Kramer, but if he has this ability